Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves Scrap, and today I have a layout that comes together pretty quickly using pink and brown as my focus and using up some scraps that I have laying around. So this layout here is an Easter layout of my friend at work and I during the Easter hat parade. So I actually pulled out these enamel dots and enamel stickers, and I didn't actually use them in the layout in the end. I've got the pink flowers and I've got the photo, of course, and I've gone through my scrap pile and I've pulled out all the pieces that fit into the colour scheme of pink and brown. This was down for a bit of a challenge on GDU, Girls Down Under, and I've picked up all the pieces that would fit accordingly into the colour scheme of pink and brown. I have lots, as you can see, lying around, and I am quite amazed actually at how much pink and brown that I have laying around. Obviously it's been a popular colour combination that I've been using recently. So now that I've got all of these, I have got my brown cardstock that I'm going to use my framing and bits and pieces throughout, title, photo, matting, and so forth. And then I have the pink, which I'm going to use as my solid base on which I'm going to build from. So pink and brown, I love that colour combination. As you can see from my scraps, it doesn't matter. They don't all come from the same brand of paper. They come from lots and lots of different brands. It's just about matching the colours and putting them together. So I am gutting the brown because I'm just using it as my framing, and it's a waste not to use that cardstock further than just the base. In this case, I am using the pink as a solid base, but that's because you'll see in a little while when you see my squares how I use it to fill a space that is between the papers I'm using. So I need something to build on, and the pink and the brown coordinate. And I really love this paper from Scrapbook Fantasies, this one. And I didn't realise when I first pulled it out that it also had the brown wood grain on the back. And anyone that knows me or has been watching my videos knows I absolutely love wood grain for my papers. So I'm just trimming down. They're just 2 2/8. So that's how big those squares are. And I'm using a Tim Holtz distressing tool to distress each of the edges, and I do the rest of them off screen, so you're not tied up for the whole time that I do that. Using the gathered twigs, I've just edged the pink there to give it a shadow effect. The distressing of the oxide around the edge of the main colour just allows it to blend off that frame, but adds some shadowing, and that's more detail to look at. So I'm going to just layer in the squares to build a grid effect, and as you can see I'm balancing the pink with the brown, and I really do like that uniquely creative piece of paper scrap that I have there with the roses on it. That's so pretty. And I've got some pink wood grain and some brown wood grain. I'm tying in the brown. Now I went through as I was doing it and I actually vetoed half of the papers that I had cut up and decided not to use. I'll use those on another project. This here is a bit of that pink script one from Scrapbook Fantasies that I utilised into a fishtail banner, and now I'm using the distressing tool here on this panel. And I'm so sorry that there's notifications going off in the background. My family cannot control themselves. This here is an old piece. It's a really, really old piece, and I can't even tell you where I've had it. I've had it since I started scrapping, I think in 2002. So that's how old that brown and pink dotted spot one is. I'm putting this fishtail banner across the middle to break up the harshness of the total brown, and I've got these little panels that I've cut out of another piece of paper. So never throw away your scraps. You can use them. You never know when you're going to need them or use them. I am going to double mount the photo, and that's just to lift it up off the page and make it a little bit more interesting and draw the eye to the photo. But it also breaks it from being flat against the page, and double mounting is one way of doing that. Using the lighter to the darker draws the eye to that photo. I am using the pop tape because I want it up off the page, and that gives it the dimension, and anyone that has been following me knows that I like things in dimension on my pages. Likewise, the little quote tags that I have there, celebrate this day, celebrate life, and of course a little nest with eggs in it. I'm popping those up. So I've got this little die that has all the letters with bunny ears on it. So I've cut out the title on my die cutting machine, my Kaisercraft DIY cuts I use. This says hot Easter chicks. So that's why I have a chicken sitting above it. We're using, this is our Easter hat parade at school. We're the DPs at the school, and it's always a whole lot of fun getting involved in that process with the K2 children. So I've added in lots of little fussy cut elements that I've taken from scraps that I've got lying around on my desk, and I'm building up clusters and building up embellishments around the page so that the eye roams the page. They're all got a bit of an Easter theme to them. They're all falling into the pinks and browns, and I'm adding in the flowers there just to add some more interest to the layout, using some stars and some hearts. I actually like how these all come together and build together, and it just shows that if you have them lying around, use them. Find where you can use them. It doesn't matter that they're not from the same package of papers. As long as the colours stay true, they all blend together nicely. You can see I've got a Minte cut out there. There's so many different things on this page. I'm using the Nuvo drops here to tie it all together, and I'm using a combination of pink and brown. I have dots of 3 wherever it is, whether they're vertical, horizontal, or clustered, so that the eye is attracted to them. And there they are, looking nice together, and I just have a look around, make sure that everything's right. And what I'm doing is I'm flicking under the cardstock to make those Nuvo drops flatten so they look like an enamel drop without actually being an enamel drop. So using a bronzy colour gel pen, I'm just adding in some faux stitching around that fishtail banner just to lift it off the page a little bit more, add a little bit more definition. It's not an overpowering colour, it actually blends nicely into the page. And as you can see, just that little bit of doodling finishes off what could be very flat on the page. And you know, it takes a couple of seconds to do, and it adds just that little bit of a finishing touch. Now I need to make sure that I put in the date because I have lots of Easter Hat Parade photos, and this is a 2023 one. And I keep looking at my page and I'm thinking, is it finished? I'm not too sure. Here you can see where I've got those enamel drop effects with the Nuvos flattened there. I put little clusters, and you'll see they're all in odds. I don't have my clusters in evens because odds in nature is the way to go. It's more natural and more pleasing for the eye. 1, 3, 5, 7, whatever it may be. I still think it's a little bit unfinished, so I'm going through with this script stamp just to tie it in a little bit more and break it up a bit more, add some more interest for the eye. I do like it, but I always like to add more, as though it needs just that little bit more defining into the layout to make sure that the eye roams. And it too, when I stamp it, I do as an odd number if you have a look, and that's because once again, it's about pleasing the eye and making it natural looking. Okay, so I've done that, and now, of course, we've always got to zhuzh a little bit with a bit of stickles and a little bit of glow here. So I'm using a Shimmers here, and this one dries clear. It's a natural Shimmers. And I've just found a flower where the brown Nuvo is not exactly a very good centre, so I've just added a bit more to lift it. And I'm just putting these little bits of shimmers in onto the little white dots so that they will have a little bit of a sparkle. Even right down to this Easter egg in the basket here, I've dotted it up with a bit of shimmers all the way across. And I love these cosmic shimmers that I'm using. They are the best. and they really do apply nice and easily. Alright, so now I'm happy with my layout. Now it looks like it's finished. You can see I've got the stamping added in there and the shimmers, and when they dry they will be nice and glittery. And that, thank you, is my layout. So I hope something here inspired you, something challenged you to think differently about your papers and to use them in a different way. So hopefully I'll see some of your work out there as you share with the wider community. I'm Kathy from Kathy Loves to Scrap. Remember to follow me on Instagram where you'll see all my layouts, and believe me, I have a whole lot more there than I do on my YouTube at the moment. But thanks for watching. If you like something, give me a like, and I'll see you soon.